Yo, what's going on, guys, and welcome to the very first episode of the Mighty Morphin Powered Podcast. Well, actually, the second recording because the first one, the audio failed. And I'm here with my boy Jeff, and we gonna get this one done this time. We had audio issues on the first video, so consider this a re-upload and everything. So yeah, man, like the last video, this one's an introduction of the members. Last time we had my boy Justin. This time he was busy. So it's just us two. You know what I'm saying? It's just us two. We gonna get this done, bro. We gonna get this done.
Yes, sir. We're
So
going to get right through it.
we gonna get right through this. Alright, so bet. Normally when you introduce yourself as a Power Rangers fan to other people who watch Power Rangers fans, you ask them what's your favorite season. So I'll say, alright, my favorite season is SPD. And the reason why my favorite season is SPD because I can relate to Rangers like Jack a lot. You know what I'm saying? I can relate to Jack like a ton. And just like the whole team was really good, although I'm not heavy on Sky. A lot of people seem to be heavy on Sky now. Not too heavy on Sky. Other than that, I really rock with the other Rangers. Huge character development between like Jack and Doggy, especially Doggy, because man, that man was stubborn until he got over the emotions of like his planet being destroyed and everything. And he told like the Rangers, he told them the story. And notice how he started being like more calm, like ready to tell the other Rangers, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this is my story. And maybe if I can be honest with you guys can be honest with me. And that's what honestly, my opinion, put Doggy Kruger in like top 3, probably top 5 mentors of all time in Power Rangers. What's your favorite season, bro?
I'm about to say In Space.
Yes, sir.
Just from start to finish, like, it was just a different type of take. I mean, obviously, like, if you're a long-term Power Rangers fan, you know that, like, that was the deciding season of the franchise continuing. And
Yes,
so
sir.
they had to go all out, and they definitely did. From that first episode where you find out, like, Andros is just, like, a solo ranger, and, like, the whole mystery of, like, where the rest of his team was, like, you find out Zane's been frozen for 2 years, and then just watching him develop as a leader, and then,
Yes,
like,
sir.
adjusting to the whole Earth, and then meeting all the Turbo Rangers, who later obviously became the rest of the team. It just
Yes.
carried itself really well. And then, like I said, Andros, his dynamic as a character was just pretty awesome. He was just a one-man show up until, like, he absolutely needed help.
Right.
And,
Alright. So, like, Andros, let me talk about Andros. Because I feel like for Andros, a lot of people say, like, from what I hear, when they think of, like, top-tier Red Rangers, they don't think of Andros. But in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure on yours too, Andros is a top-tier Red Ranger. What you think about Andros being the top-tier Red Ranger? Is he or is he not, in your opinion?
oh, absolutely. And, like, just from what I said, like, before being, like, the leader of their team, like, we don't necessarily know if he was the leader of the team with him and Zane. But obviously, just from them fighting together, like, solo, taking care of, like, their whole planet, like, he was built for it. And, like, as the season goes on, you find out, like, this man's got baggage, like, he's been doing with his sister being taken, like, his planet got, like, invaded multiple times, and, like, he just fights and fights. Yeah, like, the stuff with Zane. And then as the season goes on, he even finds out the person he's been fighting against is his sister that's brainwashed.
Right.
And for the most part, like, he kept his cool. Like, you know what I mean? He did what he had to do. And, like, even more character arcs just from him, like, spurted out, like, just from being in a relationship with Ashley. Like, she introduced him to, like, a whole different lifestyle, like, being on Earth. Right. And then you have, like, TJ, who is obviously a Red Ranger, so he had his own type of leadership to, like, put in with Andros. And, like, when Andros was tripping a lot, like, TJ was the one that was like, hey, man, like, stick with what you're doing, like, we're going to be all right.
Right.
So, yeah, I would definitely consider him, like, a top-tier Red Ranger for sure. And then, obviously, like, when we get on to Forever Red, like, yeah, Tommy's, like, the main guy, but, like, Andros pretty much recruited everybody and brought them together, like, at the airport.
Exactly.
And, like, man, I swear, they should have done like a spin-off of him just as like a bounty hunter, because like he was always like going out of his way across the universe to find what was going on. Like this man was on the moon watching them like dig up Serpentera and stuff like that, and like he found Zordon. Like he was all over the place. So yeah, like definitely a top tier Red Ranger, and like I'm sure like if we could talk to like other Red Rangers, you know, like they would even say like, oh yeah, Andros is like the top of my list for like if I ever need help. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like when I think of top tier Red Rangers, I think Andros, I think Leo, I think Wes. You know what I'm saying? Those are the guys that like set the bar for what it means to be a leader. You
Oh,
know?
absolutely.
But,
Yeah, Carter Grayson, like
and Carter, and it's others. Like they set the bar on what it means to be a leader in Power Rangers. You know, you gotta have that mentality. Like so some seasons you can see where like, oh yeah, you can't even tell like this dude's the leader. For example, I'll give Samurai.
mm,
For some parts, Jayden seemed like a pretty okay leader, but then other parts he seemed like he couldn't control the team. Like it seemed like the team was out of his hands. And like some parts, like I remember rewatching it, and I was like, I was looking at Kevin and like the way Kevin like strategized, and like the way like he talked, like you would have thought he was the Red Ranger at that point, and he wasn't. He was blue. Although blue is also considered like the second in command color when it comes to Power Rangers.
right.
And I'm like, you gotta have that mentality. You gotta have that fierce mentality. You know what I'm saying? You got to know when to put the team in check as well, because the team will get rowdy at times, and like, or then the team is down. And I also think in Jayden's case, he was set around the wrong team, but because the team seemed a bit too nice, you know what I'm saying? A bit too nice, not rough on him to change.
Correct, yeah.
And Mattis had to like take in his own hands, like, oh yeah, you had to call in his sister, who knew the ceiling symbol power for Xandric. So that kind of woke him up, and he changed a bit, but you really couldn't see it. Like the best from him, I'll say, was like the fight with Decker. The fights with Decker like brought the best out of him, brought that fighting spirit that he believed that he lost out of him.
Mm.
And you need like a fighting spirit, to like a fierce mentality, like a very good mentality, clear mind to be a leader in this franchise. So Wes developed that throughout the season, and you can tell because Wes nearly died at the end of time. You know what I'm saying? Same with Leo, his respective season. Like these dudes were dudes you wouldn't even expect to put on a Power Rangers helmet, and they changed into leaders who are willing to do anything, well, to not just for that team, not for that city, but to protect the planet. You know, so they set the bar. Like him, Andros, Leo, Carter, you know what I'm saying? They set the bar for what it means to be a very good. I'll even say, in some perspective, Jason. They set that bar of what it means to be a good Red Ranger. So my next question would be, what's your favorite Megazord?
Favorite Megazord. Let me think. There are a lot. Okay, so definitely Cam's Megazord from Ninja Storm.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Let's see. I like this, like I guess the story or build up behind like the Lost Galaxy Zords and how they were animals to start off, and then like, you know, they became weaponized. But favorite Megazord. Let me think on this one. I'm gonna have to say, just from the top of my head, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's my favorite, but like, you know, Pyramidas just coming in and literally like carrying the other Zords and all that, you know, like the hype behind that was super sick, and that was just a great part of the Gold Ranger arc that let him have an entire like pyramid-sized Zord just to add to like how important he was.
Right. And let's not forget the fact that it's literally a pyramid. Like,
Yeah.
that's dope, bro. Like, I love pyramids. And, like, I'm on my Zordon era rewatch, and I'm on Mighty Morphin. So I can't wait to get back to Zeo and get to that part where the Gold Ranger's introduced. And, like, him, like, Jason just coming back in general. Like, that whole moment when he came back, oh, my God, bro. So, yeah, my favorite Megazord off top of the dome is easily that Delta Squad Megazord, bro, from SPD.
Oh, definitely.
And that Megazord is GOAT tier in my opinion because it has more, it has more mobility than what you usually see from like regular Megazords. Because regular Megazords you see just like stand still like in battle, but like the Delta Squad Megazord, like he's like. The Megazord's like jumping to the side, you know what I'm saying? Jumping back and forth, like actually fighting with you. And like the cool thing about the Delta Squad Megazord is that it also has the judgment time thing. And you can easily get like put into like I forgot the little card stick, but they call them when they after you get found guilty. But like
oh yeah.
Like it was just so cool, and then the design was cool. You know what I'm saying?
Time Force did the same thing, didn't they? Or a similar thing? Time Force did this, yeah. Like when they got locked up.
Time Force did do a similar thing. Yeah, it did do a similar thing. Yeah, it was crap. I forgot what it was called, but both of them were pretty cool. And if I had to do like my second favorite was, I say the Super Mega Force Megazord only because I'm a fan of Gokaiger and it was so cool in Gokaiger, bro. Like it was great. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
To throw in an honorable mention, I'm gonna have to say like just like the Zords that like the Space Rangers had as a whole, because a lot of them like combine with each other. Like I like that concept of like, you know, like at first when they became a team, they just used like the Astro Mega Ship, and then like they fought Dark Honda when he was super huge for the first time. They were like, all right, we're gonna need more power. So then we get the Astro Delta Mega Zord, and then like Zane comes back. Oh, look at that, Zane has the Zord as well. And then you get like the Mega Voyager and all that, and then that can combine, and then you just have like the Super Megazord, obviously. And like when it came down to it, they definitely needed it, because like when the Psycho Rangers showed up and they all got big, like, and we all saw what happened there. Like they took them to another dimension.
So on the topic of the Psycho Rangers, your favorite team of evil Rangers?
Evil Rangers?
Yeah. There's a few select. Dude, there's a few select. So.
Oh, well, Evil Rangers. Well, yeah, I'm definitely have to say the Psycho Rangers, because, like, the moment that you saw them on screen, my bad, and, like, their laughs, when I was a kid, like, that just, you know, I mean, I knew something was going down. Like, their laughs were so evil, and like it was just like a different type of villain. Like, and like I said before, like In Space had to like be that season, so like they kind of took it to the next level with them, and like they tormented them for like, I think it was like a 5-episode arc, maybe even more.
Yeah, it was about 4 or 5 episodes, and then that's when Teacher came up with the what I think is still one of the smartest plans in Power Rangers.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, like the Psycho Rangers even like pretended to be humans so they could like stalk them on Earth in plain sight. You know what I mean? They captured a bunch of them. Shoot, that scene where they kidnapped Zane and they put him in like that library, and they show up and they just ran right through them. Like stuff like that. Like they literally had like the Ranger spooked. Like yeah, like to where the point like TJ had to like draw up like a master plan.
Exactly.
And then, like I said before, like they carried over to like another season because like they were just well known of like how good they were.
Right. But in Lost Galaxy, though, I can say, and we mentioned this in the first recording, that I don't think they were as good, but they still did pretty much a lot of damage to, obviously, technically killing a Ranger. You know what I'm saying? And this is like one of the first times when you like actually see like, and Kendricks was like a loved like character of that team, and like to see her like technically like die, and you like dang, like Psycho Pink mean business. Like these
Mm-hmm.
dudes mean business. They not coming around to play. They got one job and one job only, and that's to eliminate all existing Power Rangers. You know, and I was
Oh,
like,
definitely.
bro, like they're ready to like they don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll get it done any way, shape, or form, even if it means killing.
Mm-hmm. And like they were definitely brought back to like, it was a crossover episode, so like they obviously were there like to play it for that purpose as well. But yeah, like just from them like kidnapping the Lost Galaxy Rangers, and then Andros obviously showing up whenever Leo got attacked, like I just kind of like how it all unfolded. But yeah, like the fight scene was pretty cool and everything like that, but they definitely weren't like as strong as they once were. Besides Psycho Pink, because like she just kept coming back.
Right. Like honestly, my favorite. I'm not going to use the Psycho Rangers. I'll use a different team. I'll say A Squad from SPD. And no, it's not just because I love SPD. It's just that when they first, like when A Squad first came back from being AWOL, and they fought those they literally brought the best out of that B Squad team. Like
Uh-huh.
they usually like when the B Squad will fight, they would get fights done. They probably get damaged somewhat, and they usually win. Although they still won in the fight against A Squad Rangers, they struggled a lot, and it showed that was like with the abilities of like SWAT mode, like they can get the job done.
Mhm.
And like A Squad Rangers, we still don't know enough about them, obviously, or what happened to cause them to go AWOL. Maybe they did get captured by Grum, and Grum sent them back to Earth
Right.
and let them go. But like the A Squad, when they that first like, and to see that was actually the first female Red Ranger on that team, you like, bro, all right, this team, mean like they gonna go hard and they gonna give the Rangers a challenge. And eventually they did, because they all depended on the B Squad Rangers using SWAT mode to defeat them. And I was like, bro, these dudes are pretty powerful. So I'm like, I wish we could see more of them. And obviously, in the Boom comics, I would love to see them again. But yeah, man, I like the A Squad. I like them a lot. So there's that for A Squad. Another question: if you had to become a ranger for one day, uh, any morphin, any season, what would you be trained by?
Who would I be trained by?
Yeah, who would you like to be trained by? Like any ranger.
Ooh. Um, let me see. I'm gonna have to say, I'm trying to think of someone.
Oh, and also that person you train, you get like their morpher basically. To have,
Okay, okay. Let me see. Dang. You got me on the spot. I gotta think about this one.
for me,
Yeah,
I'll
you go
say
ahead. You go first.
for me, I'll probably say RJ,
Okay.
because RJ one is a good mentor. Two, like that. Oh my god, that Jungle Fury Wolf Ranger suit, goat is goat tier, and the morpher is pretty cool, and like RJ's a pretty he knows when to take things serious, and he
Mm.
knows when not to take things serious. He's like a laid back, cool guy, you know what I'm saying? So honestly, I would love to be trained by RJ and take the mantle of the Jungle Fury Wolf Ranger.
I got you. All
I
right.
would
So I
love,
think
I would
I,
love
I think I got mine. I think I
Alright.
would, I think I would have to say Adam, and like that being the Green Zeo Ranger, cause
Yeah.
just And like even from like the anniversary episode when he comes back, you can kind of just tell that like even though Adam was never a Red Ranger, which I still think he should have been for at least a
Yeah.
season, that like he had like leadership. I mean like there were definitely times where Adam would like crack a joke or two, but like for the most part, like he was about his business. Like when danger came and stuff, like he didn't play around. Like he was always about it. And even in like the Turbo movie, like when he was younger, like I still think that like he gave like a really good performance for what it's worth. And yeah, like being any Zeo Ranger, I think would just be super cool. Like because all their suits were awesome. But yeah, like me personally, I just think Adam was like a good leader for not being like a Red Ranger.
Exactly.
And like
Adam,
he was a martial artist too, right? Like just like Jason and them.
Yeah, he was heavily in.
Yeah, exactly. So like for like fighting and like training and stuff like that, like oh yeah, he would definitely like have you just on tip top shape and whatnot, and just like yeah, like he always had like a strong relationship with Alpha too and stuff like that. So he kind of just had like a little bit of everything built into him.
Exactly. Like, and also with like Adam is that, like you said, he carries like that. Even though he showed flashes that like yeah he can be a Red Ranger and a leader. Like with Adam, I just think he's underappreciated, and it's certainly because the fact that with Adam, I think like with Turbo, like he was the shining, like one of my favorite parts about Turbo. He was like that shining part of Turbo. It's just that like a lot of people like, oh, like he's not really like, when people think of like top like Rangers, people really don't think of Adam. And I'm like Adam's really like good. And if he got that chance, I would have honestly casted him as a Red Ranger because he shows that that clear mind. He knows how to work with others. He's shown that as he's been on multiple teams. He has a strong connection with like Alpha, and like also with Adam is that he's blunt. You know what I'm saying? He keeps it real, and he's also considered to many people like a Ranger legend. Who else is a Ranger legend? Tommy, right? And Tommy got to carry the mantle of the Red Ranger, and Tommy was low key wasn't even considered a Ranger legend yet. So with like Adam, I think with the chance, if they given him the chance, he could have been the Red Ranger. Like, and like what I would have done is like have like Tommy low key like at the end of Zeo like give up that mantle, and then like beginning of Turbo like have like Tommy give that mantle to Adam. That would have been like clearly the perfect setup. Like Adam being like Red Ranger. Because honestly, I love Adam, and I would love to see like Johnny Young Bosch and like future Power Ranger like related things. But like due to like his schedule, you can kind of see like why, and like yeah. So I would love to see him make it happen in the Boom comics. Hey, the Boom comics making anything happen at these days.
Definitely.
So I would love to see that happen. Another question: least favorite season and why?
And why?
Yeah, and why?
I'm gonna have to say least favorite season. I'm gonna have to say like Mega Force and Super Mega Force, and like it's not the like the team itself wasn't good and all that, because I mean most of the characters I like, and like but like the whole beginning with like Troy having a dream about the Mega Battle just didn't make it all seem like so real. And obviously like there's all those theories that like it was a simulation and all that good stuff, you know. So like I guess from there and like moving forward, I was just always kind of just like you know, like it's a, like I was just kind of waiting for the Mega Battle to happen. Like obviously like what's his name, Robo Knight and all that was great, and I know that caught like a bunch of people's attention and like easily what a lot of people's favorite character. But yeah, just like as a whole season, and then yeah, like Gosei and all of them. I mean, I liked all that, but like it kind of just seemed like MMPR just like modernized, and it just didn't quite like hit the same.
Yeah, like
and then like I like obviously like the Ranger Key concept like was super awesome to me. Like any access to them, and then like we even saw like suits and stuff that we've never seen before. Like they brought them on screen for the first time. but just like altogether, like even the or the legendary battle, like how there's an extended version and stuff like that, like it was great, but like it just didn't all quite do it for me.
Yeah, like mine's is honestly Super Mega Force, and why? I'll get back to I'll get to where you said like the suits you never seen before. Honestly, they used like Saban got so lazy and used so much Sentai footage. We've seen suits from Dynaman, Five Man, Die Ranger, like these suits, and you would have to like make names up on the spot. Like I know before that you've never heard of Power Rangers Prism, like or Power Rangers Supersonic. I know you've never heard of that before. So so say like I didn't watch Sentai and you're watching this and like teams you've never heard before and you see like these suits and you're like, dude, I've never seen this before. Am I missing something? You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Also with like the Rangers, like I'll say that like Troy is is like a low I wouldn't rate him like one of like the worst, but he's around that area for a reason. But he's a better leader than Jaden. I can say that by a mile.
Oh, definitely.
Because he's shown like, especially towards like the end of Super Mega Force, like he was like ready to sacrifice himself for that team. And like when he went to the ship, to Mavrill's ship, like he was ready to like legit sacrifice himself for that team. And I was bro, that's a moment that I haven't seen in Power Rangers in forever, coming from a Red Ranger, especially one that isn't so great from like Troy. So although a lot of people shame Troy, I'll give him props for that. Like he's shown fierce leadership throughout and took the challenge of fighting Brock, Bakar, and Bakar's army, the Armada, like all of them head on. But still, Troy wasn't that great. The team really wasn't that great. Honestly, I'll say I know Gia gets a lot of attention. She's good, but not as great as the Power Rangers community puts her in. Because like the dialogue in Super Mega Force and Mega Force alone is just awful. Like they say some cringy things. And then also on the topic of the legendary battle, you have a battle which technically, as they hyped up back in 2013, 2014 as the greatest Power Rangers episode you'll probably see on television. So you hear that and you're like, oh yeah, this episode's been good. Now being a Sentai fan, you like, okay, is this battle coming in Mega Force because it was in Goseiger? And you're like, nope, it's coming to Super Mega Force. I'm like, okay, that's weird because that means that we're going to actually combine a pretty mid season with a season that has potential of being really good. And then you have the Gokaiger suits that's a whole different season. You use these suits as like a power up and you're like, okay, that's where y'all messing up at one. Then you get all the way to the legendary battle, and this is a fight, you know what I'm saying, that you've been hyping up for literally, technically 2 seasons. And you get there, and it's only 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And nothing else but interactions, like, with Tommy, like, and Wes, like, we've given the future to you and stuff like that. Like, we believe in you. You can get this done. Like, everything in that episode, in my opinion, besides the legendary battle was good. And like in the extended version, as you mentioned, like with like all the past Rangers like helping citizens out.
Yeah, I like that too. Cause then
that was pretty like cool to see. But the thing is, what messed me up is like when Tommy rescued the boy from the car that was teetering on the bridge. He had the white Tiger Ranger like helmet and suit, like that flash. You know what I'm saying? But in the battle, he had the Green Ranger suit on. And I'm like, so with the idea of now having like a Master Morpher, I'm like, did Tommy have a Master Morpher at the time? I'm like, I don't know, but that was kind of confusing for me. And also like the budget, people use the budget as an excuse for the legendary battle being so short. Like, no. Honestly, the legendary battle could have been about 1-2 episodes. And then, like, you have the Megaforce Rangers have what they did at the end, the little interaction. Because the little interaction, I like the little interaction. You know what I'm saying? Like they put like the blades in the ground and they go to Ernie's. Like I like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but besides that and the interaction with the past Rangers, that build up was awful. The build up was kind of bad too, because you basically had like Bakar as like the main Ranger, right? Emperor Mavro isn't even like mentioned until like he's mentioned but not heavily mentioned as he was like towards like the end, and then he just comes out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And then like you have Bakar couldn't do the job, so Rock's back. And Rock gives the Rangers more of a challenge than the main Ranger villain was supposed to, which was Vakar. And like I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. And then Rock goes down, and then along with Rock goes Robo Knight, and you like, okay, Robo Knight goes missing at the end of Megaforce. You bring him back, he's turned evil, which in Ghost Sager he went evil, which was understandable. Then after that, he realizes he gets unbrainwashed and unrecircuited, and then he dies literally, I think, an episode or two after that, saving Orion. I'm like, okay, so that was kind of weird. And then, like, I don't know, just that whole season just gave me a very bad vibe. Like, the episode where the Red Lion, it was all about the Red Lion, that was probably one of my favorites. And then you have the episode where they go to Future Cornif, right?
Yeah.
And then you have like, what was it called? The Racing Falcon Zord or whatever. You have not heard of that in RPM. So this is obviously Sentai footage. And you're like, bro, what? What is it? I've never heard of this Zord a day in my life. I literally rewatched RPM and I'm like, I've never heard of this Zord. I have not finished Go Andrew, by the way. So for the people watching this and y'all watch Go Andrew, don't roast me. Okay, I have not finished Go Andrew. But yeah, I'm like, that's kind of weird. I've never saw this Zord in RPM. Like, who's this? So I guess this was a newly made Zord on the spot, or it's a Zord from the Sentai footage. And then Saban, like, you can like see and like if you go watch footage of Megaforce, you can literally see the cards. I guess you call them power cards or whatever. And like that was a cool concept. I was like, all right, that's cool. I want to collect these. But then you literally see the name of the Sentai on the card. Tensu Sentai Goseiger. And I'm like, bro, y'all couldn't have been any more lazy with this season. Lazy acting. The fighting scenes are you know what I'm saying? And then the cards literally have the Sentai name on it, and they're Ranger cards say Gosei Blue, Gosei Black. Like, come on, bro. I just couldn't with both of those seasons. And I was just ready, and thank God we got a bounce back season with Dino Charge.
But yeah, I never liked the concept of like super seasons.
Yes, I haven't either, honestly. And now that we're going to get a Super Beast Morpheus, bro, it's just, I don't know. I thought we were going to drop the super seasons, man. Thought they said new era, new us, and obviously you're not, because we have a Super Beast Morpheus coming in 2020. So, you know what I'm saying? I hope it's not like, if they keep doing the super seasons, what they need to stop doing is taking another season, right? Taking their aspect of that season and making that the super season when you could literally just use the Ranger suits from the previous season in that season, but maybe give like a different power up or a better power up or a stronger one. Like the concept of having an angelic season like Megaforce, and y'all go straight to a concept of pirates. And Gosei never explained this. I'm like, huh? Like, y'all have a pirate ship, bro. He never told them about the concept of the pirate ship, none of that. And that kind of bugged me. I'm like, okay, you could at least went over with them about this. And honestly, I think the reason why they didn't do it because it would sound kind of stupid. Because they're like, oh yeah, we just have like pirate suits and stuff. Like it would have sounded weird. Like, because it's like you just switch like two totally different like themes. So that's like saying, okay, Jungle Fury is Jungle Fury, right? And then after that, you have like, say if they did a Super Jungle Fury and Super Jungle Fury is RPM. That wouldn't make any sense. So I hope they honestly stop. But knowing if they're gonna start in the Hasbro era, they're gonna keep doing it. So that's one thing. Another thing I don't want to see in the Hasbro era is the Mighty Morphin remake themes. I hate those. I hate them. Except like Dino Charge. Dino Charges was pretty okay. I'll say that. The other ones, Samurai, Megaforce, Super Megaforce, because that was the same theme. Ninja Steel and Super Ninja Steel's garbage. I'm telling you. Everything like this, like the theme honestly can make a season unique, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
No.
Right. They can make the season unique. And with like having like just like with Samurai, they could have had like that typical like flute, kind of like how Ninja Storms was, like that whole flute concept. Like it could have been that, but no, y'all just wanted to go Power Rangers, and like nobody wants to hear that legit for the next 10, 15 years. I know I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. And with like Dino Charge, I first heard it and it was like Power Rangers. I'm like, okay, we might get a different name. And then the first thing I hear that go Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. I'm like, here we go again. Like, I don't know, man. That just annoyed me a lot. And then also, I don't know if you noticed, but I noticed this in Ninja Steel or Super Ninja Steel specifically. Like in the end of like a Megazord fight, you would hear like the Samurai version remake of the Mighty Morphin theme play. Like I think I'm one of the only people that like pointed that out, but I was like, bro, what? Like that was just very weird and odd to me. Like the Neo Saban era was very weird and very odd because Power Rangers was legit at its worst. At its worst. And was the franchise dying? Yes. So honestly, I hope Hasbro turns it around. I hope we're not overhyping Beast Morphers like how we did Super Megaforce. Because the last time we did overhype a season a lot, we got Super Megaforce. So I just hope that doesn't happen again. Favorite villain?
Ooh. What were we saying yesterday? I think I said Rancic.
Yeah.
Or oh no, I said I think I said Mesagog.
Yeah, I think you said Mesagog and Justin said Rancic.
Yeah. So Mesagog, like we obviously know, like Anton Mercer and Tommy worked with each other about what was it, like 10, 15 years post like Zio and all that stuff. Like basically whenever Tommy like went off to college and all that good stuff. But yeah, like I just like that like the villain had ties to like a main character.
Right.
Just kind of similar to like the earlier seasons. And then we saw like multiple sides of like Mesagog because like sometimes like Anton would pop out or like vice versa, and it like made a lot of the decision making like throughout the season like to dictate how things played out. And then not only that, but like you had the villain having ties with like Tommy, but then he was also like the dad of like the White Ranger who was evil turned good. So that just kind of like spiced things up even more, just like going throughout the season. Because then you had like 3 different characters like making different decisions and whatnot based off of like the person they knew.
Exactly.
And like what was his name? what was Mesagog's like right hand, the guy that Tommy knew, like Zeltrax?
Zeltrax?
I think so.
I think it was Zeltrax.
Yeah. And oh yeah, and so he had history with Tommy too as well. I can't quite remember if we ever got like the whole story behind that. I know they like teased it a couple of times. They just like worked together, right?
Yeah, they worked together at like they worked together in the labs, and I think something happened to Zeltrax that Tommy couldn't control or something. They mentioned it in like towards like their last fight in Dino Thunder. I remember hearing it. Like they were lab partners, and something happened, and I guess Tommy couldn't like save him or something.
Okay, yeah, that's right. So then even with that, so you had two villains, and then you had like Tommy and Trent who were both tied to like those villains, and yeah, just like throughout the season, it kind of like brought everything together and just like made everything interesting. But that was all based off of Mesagog, and then yeah, we saw like with the finale and even like the Ninja Storm team up that like he like throughout the whole season he just got more evil and more evil. And yeah, I think you were saying yesterday like he's cynical.
Right, he was cynical.
And yeah, that's also one of my favorite crossovers was like Thunderstorm.
Yeah, Thunderstorm. Ooh, bro. Thunderstorm, history. Obviously, no one gets inside. That is a GOAT Power Ranger moment for me. Favorite villain. Ooh. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
it's many. I like a lot, but I also dislike a lot. Like I said yesterday. I say Astronomer.
Okay.
Because Astronomer was like that first female character, like that first badass female character that like when she was brainwashed, she was savage. Okay, she was savage. She didn't care like who she attacked. She was going to get to the Rangers team any way, shape, or form. Like the time when I think she disguised herself as Ashley and like tried to, I think she was trying to like break the team up like through like the inside and then like Carter and stuff. But like yeah, she like didn't care and she was gonna do her whole mission herself. But obviously she was stopped. Like I think like she holds like that badass character that a lot of I guess like female, I guess you can even say Rangers like lack to like make them really good and really cool in this cheesy concept. But like Astronomer, she just was savage. And honestly, I love savage characters until like, you know, she was brainwashed and like having her be the Red Ranger's like lost sister, like that whole like storyline is just, it's sad, but it's also like pretty cool because that also brought the best out of Andros as well throughout the season. So like seeing how they were connected throughout the season, like it amazed me. And I just love Astronomer in general. You know what I'm saying? I don't love her wig changes, but she was just a pretty cool villain to me in general, you know. So here's that.
And then yeah, she obviously like carried over to become a Ranger herself.
Right. And established herself as a well-established Pink Ranger and taking the spot of Kendrick's after, you know, her passing. So, So, favorite evil Ranger turned good?
Turned good. What, we've got Tommy,
Trent, Ryan.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of some other ones. Can't really think of some other ones at the moment besides them three.
I'm going to have to go with Ryan then, because, yeah, we were also talking about this yesterday.
Yeah.
Ryan's arc began at the very beginning of Lightspeed, but you obviously didn't know. You just, like, we honestly thought that, like, he was just a lost cause. But, I mean, if you're a Power Rangers fan, you know that, like, that was going to later pay off in some sort of way. But, like,
exactly.
It did pay off, you know what I mean? Like, that was awesome. And, like, growing up with, like, with villains and like what were they all like? Not mutants, but they were
I guess you can say what?
they
Were
were like
they?
they were orcs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. So he grew up with all them and like Queen Banshira. And so, yeah, like Ryan was pretty much brainwashed to think that like his dad just like let him die and took his sister instead, which made him just like a complete savage. And like for him to turn good took a lot out of not only just like fighting with the Rangers, but like took a lot out of his sister and his dad to the point where like we saw them both like like
they emotionally
cry
broke
on
down.
screen.
They broke down.
And then, like, Ryan breaks into Mariner Bay and, like, steals the Morpher. And, of course, like, it links to him. And then he gets all this power, and you're just like, dang, it can't get any worse.
Right.
And then you see him morph for the first time and all that, and then you're just like, dang, like, this guy is, like, the real deal. He's been through so much, and, like, now he's got all this power. Like, what is he about to do with it? But luckily, like, the Rangers turned him over, and then, like, he became a huge asset. I would even say that like his like importance to the team was on like the same level that like Jason had with like the gold Zeo power.
Yeah.
Because like what was it in the finale? Like it was like a 3-part finale for Lightspeed, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah. Like oh man, that was so good. But like whenever like Ryan gets fake captured, doesn't he? And then he like breaks out through like the inside. Yeah. See like. Him just thinking all that up and, like, him and Carter working together was a great duo. I think it was, like, Zane and Andros type.
Yeah, I was about to say that, Zane and Andros.
Yeah. And, like, you know what I mean? Like, they tried to mirror that. Like, they tried to do a Troy and Orion, and, like, I didn't like that at all. But, like...
That failed miserably. Because, basically, I think, was it Troy didn't like Orion? Because Orion liked everybody. I think it was... Troy wasn't heavy on Orion when he first came. Yeah, I think it was that. And then, like, Troy, obviously, him being the quote-unquote leader of the team, had to, like, open himself to Orion. Yeah. Pretty much. So, for me, I'll say Ryan as well. Because, literally, Ryan had that thought of, dang, my dad just let me drop, and they forgot about me. You know what I'm saying? And knowing emotionally, like, how would that feel, that must feel awful. Like, and that made him obviously do what he did. You know what I'm saying? He stole the Morphin from Mariner Bay. You know what I'm saying? His objective, like, was, like, to destroy the Lightspeed Rangers. And obviously, thank God they turned him good. Because obviously, and he was, like you said, he was a strong asset to the team. But they turned him good. He was going to do some damage to that team. You know what I'm saying? Like, the story, like, the part with, like, the tattoo that was, like, wearing him down until it got, like...
back? Yeah.
Yeah, on his back. Like, how it was, like, wearing him down. And he still had enough courage, enough willpower to fight with that tattoo. Honestly, made Ryan one of my favorite Rangers in general. Just watching that. Like, that was just so amazing to see. Because you see, like, a lot of, like, people in general, they get injured or they have something, like, hindering them. They won't even attempt. But this is zapping his life force each time he fights.
Mm-hmm.
So he's still fighting, pushing through with all of that. So I love Ryan, honestly. And his arc built his character up heavily. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah. Like, Ryan, that's my boy. Like, he's pretty good when it comes to the Six Rangers.
Okay, yeah, so let's just do that. Favorite Six Ranger.
Like, my favorite Six Ranger, boy. I did this on my what's the name thread, my Power Rangers thread on my personal. My favorite Six Ranger is, I guess, I'll say Antonio. And let me tell you why. You remember how when Antonio was first introduced, he was like the goofy but also cocky guy, right? Mm-hmm. And his number one dream was to become a samurai. Correct. And he was going to do anything it takes, risk his body, you know what I'm saying, to become a samurai and Mentor G said no. And Jayden also was convinced to tell him no. What Antonio did, and I think he was in the forest, right? Yeah, he was in the forest, and he trained for like hours and hours until he was sweating until like that his morphine went off. Like that honestly like motivated me to like if you keep even if you get the no, keep trying and trying and trying your hardest and you'll get approved. And he also like gaining respect of Kevin wasn't that easy for Antonio. Mm-hmm. And what they realized is with Antonio that they didn't realize at first when they first seen him that Antonio's a very smart guy and very strategical guy. Antonio was the first dude ever in Samurai Ranger history to solve the black box. The black box, majority of the stuff that was left unsolved in Samurai, they left to Antonio. And Antonio got the job done. So what they realized is that we found literally a piece of gold from scrap. And that Antonio turned out to be a very huge asset on the team. So like he solved the black box, you know what I'm saying? And they said it took years, like descendants of the regular Rangers couldn't solve it and realized that the Gold Ranger was literally, he was the first Gold Samurai Ranger.
Right.
So realize that he's the first descendant of the Gold Samurai Rangers, if they keep that tradition going down in Samurai history, to master the black box, which obviously makes him the best Samurai Ranger because nobody else, including Jayden and Kevin, could do it. They even asked him. They told Antonio, a Ranger that had little symbol power and little to no experience at doing this, to do this. And he got it done. He might have struggled a bit and overused his symbol power to the point where he almost fainted, but he got the job done. And I respect Antonio because obviously, I tell a lot of people this, I stopped watching Power Rangers because, like Disney, he canceled Power Rangers. And they brought back that crappy Mighty Morphin reboot in 2010. So when Antonio was introduced in Samurai, I was just so happy to watch Nick one day. And like, he was like, cool. I was like, whoa, bro, this dude's really cool. And so basically he brought back my interest, my long lost interest of Power Rangers. And I respect the character Antonio for that. I respect Steven Skyler for that. And all that. Like, Antonio is just, he's not really considered one of the best because, the team he's on, obviously, and the season he's a part of. The seasons he's a part of. He's not really considered that great. But in my opinion, Antonio is really great. And that if you actually watched it, a lot of people would consider him to be, oh yeah, he's one of the best Six Rangers. Like, he's just, I wouldn't say underrated. I'm just going to say under the radar. Like,
not talked about enough. Yeah.
Under the radar, because you have a lot of great Six Rangers as well. You know what I'm saying? Like Zane, I guess you can consider Trent Six Ranger. Yeah. You can even say Tommy. Like, there's a lot of them that are really good. Antonio's good, but he's just a little bit under the radar. You know what I'm saying? Because people talk about the mains, obviously, and then get to talking about, like, pieces like Antonio. Like, he really helped the Samurai team a lot. You know what I'm saying? And made them a lot more entertaining as well. So, yeah.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say either Omega Ranger.
Yeah.
Like, we all love Sam. Like, he came from the future, and you just saw, like, what SPD pretty much had turned into with, like, his powers and abilities. And just, like, his swiftness with everything.
Like,
and then you had, but what the Ranger I was going to say was Tyson from Operation Overdrive. As a whole, I did not like Operation Overdrive that much. But
yeah, same here.
But Tyson, I'm a big fan of Rangers from, like, other planets, I guess. Like I said, like, I love In Space, so, like, Andros and Zane. And, like, I guess Tyson in a way kind of mirrored Zane, but he was way more hardcore, like, from just being on Earth and not knowing, like, anything, obviously, like, that same kind of arc, but his weapons, just the way he kind of like carried himself was like super badass to me.
Right. Like with Tizon, like I like Tizon is compared to Orion in a lot of ways.
I can see
But
that.
like Tizon, what separates him from Orion is that Tizon, I think, he came to Earth in his his race's form. You know, like his race form. So Tizon wasn't originally came to Earth to do good. He was convinced to do good. With Orion, he came to Earth because he knew that he wanted to stop the Armada from obviously destroying other planets. So, like how they did his. So, like with Tizon, I like Tizon, but his weapon, like that one weapon, wasn't it like a little treasure tracker thing, but it was like a staff that he used?
Yeah.
I found that quite interesting, but his morph, pretty cool. The suit, pretty cool. A lot of people consider him one of the worst Rangers on Operation Overdrive, but if we talking about worst Rangers on Operation Overdrive, we gotta talk Will. That man, Will, bro. Oh my God, bro. That man, Will is just, I can't with him. I can't with Will. I can't with basically that whole team. Like, the only person I can really, like, okay on that team is, like, Dax. Because Dax was low-key kind of funny. But the rest of that team, bro, including Mac, like, when Mac, like, found out he was a robot, that brought the best out of him. Because, like, it also led to that one of the coolest instant morphs that I've seen in Power Rangers. But Mac, he kind of realized that, oh, I can be just as great as a human while being a robot. But still, Mac was just, that whole season was just pure cringe. The villains, my bad, cringe. Oh my God, I could not stand that season. I literally, as a kid, don't you know how as like a kid, you don't really realize how bad something is until like you rewatch it as you're older.
Right.
I knew from rip with Operation Overdrive as I was like, what, probably like 5 or 6, that this season is bad. I just stopped watching it until I heard that my boy Adam and Xander was coming back. I was like, what? Okay, I'm going to watch this again. And yeah. So, like on the first recording, what you think about the Battle for the Grid? What you think about Battle for the Grid?
Oh, I'm definitely going to be pre-ordering it. I've been waiting for like a Power Rangers console game for a long time. And this one just having a story mode and all that, like, hopefully with the story mode, like, kind of like with the recent comics, like, they really, like, appreciate, like, what Power Rangers is, and, like, they'll do it for the fandom and whatnot, you know what I mean? Like, throw in stuff that, like, long-term fans are going to know and just, like, recognize, because that would just make it even cooler. They still haven't released, like, the full list of characters yet, have they?
No. They've just been given, like, the developers have just been given out, like, small details. Like, I remember, like, earlier, I was surfing the podcast account, and the Battle for the Grid, like, official account, like, followed. And they were talking to developers. They said that there might be a different story mode or, like, a different ending for legit every fighter in the game. Which would be pretty cool as well. And also, to mention, it's not a port of Legacy Wars. Can people just stop? Okay, it's not a port. At that point, if it was going to be a port of Legacy Wars, they would have just kept the same mechanics as it is in the game and legit called it Legacy Wars. Come on now. Just because it's made by Enway and it's Power Rangers related doesn't mean that it's Legacy Wars. You know what I'm saying? And also with this, I think that if we support this enough, you know what I'm saying? If we support this enough, give this enough love, like bigger, like industries would want to like pick up the Power Rangers name for like franchising, like video game wise, and make bigger And not saying this game is gonna be bad, but like bigger, better projects, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just hope the game does well. I know for a fact I'm getting it. I don't know what the thing is. I don't know what system I'm gonna get it on. I'm gonna get it on the PS4 or I'm gonna get it on Switch. That's why I'm so glad it has crossplay, because it really doesn't matter which one I get it on. You know what I'm saying? But just know I will have this game. I might pre-order it because that pre-order is $20. Like, that pre-order $20, man. That's cheap. That's mad cheap for pre-order. So might pre-order that, get it. But if I don't pre-order it, just know I'm most definitely gonna have it. What I think is that what the developers did is that they are extending the roster, you know what I'm saying? But they kind of doing it like how Jump Force is doing it. Like, I don't know if you've been paying attention to Jump Force roster, but like they're slowly, oh yeah, we're gonna throw in this Ranger. Like yesterday they announced that MMPR Pink, which is obviously Kimberly, is gonna be in the game. So like they're just slowly like adding in different ranges as the base MMPR Pink as well, not Ranger Slayer. So I hope the story is good. You know, I hope the story is very good, and the 3v3 combat sounds pretty dope as well. But I like the animation, man. What you think about the animation? If you've seen the trailer.
No, I've seen the trailer. I like it, and I mean, yeah, for Power Ranger games, like you were saying, if we get more support and stuff like that, then we'll obviously get more games with like different animation or just like maybe even more like lifelike and whatnot. So yeah, I think this is just like a good start to like something that can definitely like unfold. Yeah. But for me, you know what I mean? Like as long as we see the suits and we recognize them and like they look on point to what we're used to, like I'm gonna be satisfied.
Right. Like.
And then I just hope like as far as weapons and stuff that we see like like plenty of like signature weapons for each character and Zords. I'm not sure if they plan on using Zords and stuff like that, but just little stuff like that can definitely make this game like a super hit.
Exactly. Like he said, they got Justin Wong on the game, so huge shout out to Justin Wong. And as he's worked on Injustice and like other fighting games, and also he's working on Mortal Kombat 11. So I believe that in the Mortal Kombat 11, like fighting mechanics and fighting overall looks absolutely beautiful. So I have no doubt that the fighting in this game will look great, you know. But like we've been waiting for a good, not just a game, because you got the Power Ranger Online games on Nick.com. You have the DS Megaforce game, and you have the Wii Samurai game. No, I'm not talking about them. We've been waiting for a good Power Rangers console game since Super Legends, and Super Legends was that game for me. So as a kid, so I would love to have another enjoyable Power Rangers game where you can have an online feature. You can do a lot of things. And also they've mentioned esports about this. So
really?
they already mentioned having like deals and like teams for like esports for this. So that means like if this gets in for esports, game one must be a big game. Two, like the game's gonna get like more attention to it due to it being on a live stage. You know what I'm saying? So I just wish nothing but the best for this game, bro. But just know I'm gonna be on it. We gonna have podcast tournaments as well, bro. We got to, man. We gotta play against one another in the future, bro. That's for all the other members too. Telling you, I'm gonna be training in this game, bro. I'm gonna put Smash down, and I'm gonna really train in this game, bro. Like I'm just so hyped, man. Like I'm really hyped that we're getting another. It looks good. Everything looks good so far. I have no problem with nothing so far. You know what I'm saying? Everything looks crisp. Everything looks good. Yes. God, wait how the final product looks like. And also, I think we mentioned this in the first recording. This would have done bigger in trending if they legit didn't decide to drop an announcement trailer on the day that Mortal Kombat 11 is doing their big reveal.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, Mortal Kombat, in my opinion, is probably the best fighting game franchise, the most well-known. So, y'all could have waited probably a couple days after, because even a day after, there's still a lot of attention going to Mortal Kombat. But, like, yeah, I think this game is doing good. A lot of things they're still fixing. They said even with the small things, they're still fixing on them. So that's how you know they're spending their hard-earned time into making this game the best for us, the fans. So I'm just really happy we're getting another console game, man. Like, this is gonna be some fun. So there's that.
So where are we at? We're about like an hour and 30. All right. So I guess one last question from me, Sebastian. So my question to you is, what is something that you want to see in the sequel for the next Power Rangers movie?
Ooh, big question. So, you know how the trailer and, like, not the trailer, well, the ending of the movie, like, ending credit scene, and, like, Tommy's basically in detention.
Correct.
So, you know how, like, it's all modernized and, like, so, like, Tommy's obviously going to rival Jason. So, pretty much have Tommy be that cool guy, football, like, he comes in, new kid in town. New kid in Angel Grove, starting QB of the football team. Like he comes in and automatically gets the starting job. And that angers Jason. Pretty much they start a rival. So that rivalry that build up. You know what I'm saying? And basically have a modernized Green with Evil, but a whole movie dedicated to it. I would love that.
Okay.
I would love that, bro.
Definitely.
What about you?
I'm going to have to say, don't focus so much on, like, the modernization, because I feel like, you know what I mean? I mean, like, there were great parts of that, like, they changed from the series or just, like, buffed up. Like, Billy's arc was great. I love that. Yeah. Trini's arc, I felt like they kind of, like, pushed on it a little too much. But at the same time, like, it still came out good. So maybe, like, that'll even get developed more. But, yeah, with Tommy, I think I've said this to you before. It's just, whether it is a guy or a girl, because at this point, like, I don't care. Like, just bring the Green Ranger into the equation is going to change everything. But, like, respect the character that, like, Tommy was, like, on the show. And, like, bring as much as you can with him.
Right.
With the new character. And, yeah, like you said, like, rival Jason. Like, just get stuff like that. It's going to make, like, the audience, like, think of the show, but also, like, moving forward, like, watching it in a movie form. Like, they're just going to, like, get a big kick out of it.
Right.
And as far as, like, I mean, like, we got, like, Zeo Crystal's name drop, and, like, that played a big part. But in the sequel, if they're going to be mentioning, like, future movies or, like, you know, in the TV's case, like, future seasons and stuff like that, like, arcs, don't necessarily, like, give it away right away or, like, don't mention something and then don't plan on, like, not using it in the future. Because I feel like mentioning the Zeo Crystals I mean, it could be good or bad. Like, it could be good because that just means that we're not going to focus, like, 2 whole movies on MMPR. We might just do, like, the Tommy arc, and then maybe Tommy, like, takes all their powers out, so then we jump, like, straight to Zeo.
Right.
And so instead of so maybe Tommy's the Green Ranger the whole movie, and then he just becomes, like, I don't know. They could do, like, the White Ranger, obviously, and then have, like, elements of Zeo. Or they could just jump straight to the Zeo movie, and I don't know if they'd make Tommy the Red Ranger just like that. You know what I mean? Like, there's just different things that could, like, play out good or bad. So I just hope that, like, they're taking their time on it and whatnot. But, I mean, just the fact that we're getting another movie and, like, what's it called? Hasbro's in charge now, I feel good about it. Because, like, from what I saw the Bumblebee movie, and, like, that came out pretty good, and they're already getting a sequel with that. So Hasbro is definitely moving with ideas and stuff right now.
Yeah, like, with what I had in mind for, like, a second movie is, like, pretty much that's when, like, at the end, like, that's when you introduce, like, Adam, Aisha, and like Rocky, and then pretty much have like some fight that takes place pretty much in like I want to say mid beginning of the movie of the next movie. If there's like a Power Rangers like 3, and like to the point where like they like or like they move on pretty much like they did in the show, and then that's when like you introduce the secondary Rangers and bring them in, and they take the rest of the movie. And then that's when like you can move on to like after that, like in that movie, in some point of that movie, if you want to just do 3 movies and then like, all right, let's go do another like season and do movies on that, pretty much have like Tommy become the White Ranger in that movie, and then just like finish like the whole MMPR story off like that, and then jump to Z.
But yeah, I definitely just want like as many seasons from like the Saban era to be like mentioned and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right. What's your question?
My last question is, what is my last question? My last question would be, if Beast Morphers flopped, right? Pretty much like every Neo Saban era season besides Dino Charge. If this flops, what do you think? Would you still have hope in this franchise as like, oh yeah, we're still going to get pretty good seasons, even decent seasons, or would you think the franchise would be dead? Not like dead, but like dead with like having like good writing and stuff, like good writing, all that good stuff that factor into having a good season.
You said if Beast Morphers flops?
Yeah, Beast Morphers.
Okay. I mean, well, it's been like 20. This is gonna be the 26th season, right?
Right.
Okay, so I don't know. I mean, everyone can obviously see the changes in writing and whatnot since about like the midpoint and everything like that, but it's obviously still kept going. So as far as just like dying, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, my bad. I wouldn't say that this franchise would die out, but I feel like they might turn back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like they might turn back to like old storylines and look at those and see like what worked and what didn't, and then like we'd actually get like a season that is just like, oh wow, like Power Rangers kind of like back with it, you know what I mean? Because I mean they do the newer seasons obviously, like for example like Ninja Steel, like they have the whole like high school concept, like we've seen that so many times, and you know what I mean? They can only do so much with that. They just have to like tweak things around or like make them have like different hobbies and stuff like that. But like as far as if Beast Morphers flops, I feel like yeah, they would just have to like go through the Sentai footage or like maybe even do like an original season kind of, or like add an original Ranger, because like when they do stuff like that, that's when seasons are the best, you know, because like that, like you were saying yesterday, that takes like a different type of writing. So like
exactly.
I think that if Beast Morphers and sadly Super Beast Morphers doesn't both live up to like what everyone's hoping for and what they're hoping for, then yeah, they might do something more original, or they might just look back at previous things and be like, hey, like we were at our peak with like these type of seasons where we focused on this and not so much this. And even like with the movie coming out, the sequel, they're definitely going to want to have like a season out at the time that the movie comes out that people can like, you know what I mean? That's just more content. So you're not going to want to have like a good sequel and then like a bad like season following up with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I would say that like they might have to like hire some new people or like switch the writers up. And I mean, with the comics and how much the comics are doing right now, you would kind of hope that like they would pull from there and see what they can do as well.
Yes, pull some of them boom guys in there and make some good stories.
And we've been hearing so many rumors about like Jason David Frank getting like a legacy season with other Rangers and stuff like that. Yeah. Like stuff like that. Like even if they're older, like who cares? Like people, they're still doing Comic Cons, and we had JDF post a bunch of stuff on YouTube that people look at like instantly. Right. And then like the actors are all actively together all the time. So like why not do something like that? even like like in a Boom comics for like with Son of the Dragon or Soul of the Dragon with his son, like anything like that where you just kind of have like Rangers from the past and they're like carrying something or they're in charge of something, and then you have like younger people, like even new actors, that'd be totally fine, like getting mentored by them. Like I feel like a season like that would be cool where like Rangers from the past mentor just like a whole new team because like something big is coming.
Like I like that idea, and then like make it like somewhat like a Ranger Academy.
Yeah.
Then I'll be fully sold on that. Like I'll be like how like SPD is somewhat.
And like Ninja Storm, just stuff like that.
Right.
Like
Like,
even Ninja Storm, like the Rangers all became like teachers and stuff like that.
they became like teachers towards the end. Like how Jungle Fury is pretty much like with Casey, and he's he's a teacher in like Super Mega Force. So like, yeah, I like that. I like the idea of that. That would be pretty cool to see and have.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. That's the ending of the first episode, man. This is the second take on the first episode, but man, we got through it. Shout out to Jeff for being here.
Hey.
And like we're gonna be back next week with more talk about Beast Morphers, you know what I'm saying? And the original like power up that Power Rangers is coming up with and why is it receiving so much hype. And yeah, hopefully we'll have more the team members here next week. But yeah, this is the MMPP podcast signing out. We'll be back next week with more stuff. Peace.